All right, we are live. The Minnesota Vikings are currently getting destroyed by the Rams, 27-9. There's a lot to discuss in this stream. There's just a lot of missed opportunities. Is how I would describe this game. They basically handed the Rams a free 10 points at the beginning of the game. It was 10-0, and it was just it was brutal, man. It was missed opportunity after missed opportunity, and here we are. We're in the fourth quarter. Technically, the game is still going on, by the way. But we're gonna break everything down here. We are going to break everything down. There is actually a lot I want to discuss. I do want to go over specific examples within the game. But Sam Darnold right now sacked 7 times for a total loss of 65 yards. For everybody that wants to talk about, you know, the stage being too big for Sam Darnold, this right here, this is your Super Bowl. Because I would argue last week was an appetizer. I would say last week was a bit of an appetizer. You know, like, hey, like 31-9 against the Lions. The Vikings have 6 points in the red zone, and you know, they missed on the 1 seed. Okay, great, good for the Lions. Lions kicked their rear ends. Good for the Lions. But game's still on, Taylor. It is. Actually, the game's actually back now, so let me go ahead and hit this here. Let's see what happens. I have the game volume on, so I can at least see what happens. We're down 27-9. And by the way, one of the biggest criticisms that I have, here we go. We have a deep shot. Darnold going for Addison. Misses the whole shot. That's a good summarization of the game. One of the biggest complaints that I have, despite the obvious, but one of the biggest annoyances that I have with this game is you are down 27-9 with less than 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. You know, I think the logical thing, I really think the logical thing would be to hey, let's hurry up. Let's really get going. They had 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They run 4 plays and let the clock run out. I mean, do you even care? Like, is there a realization that the season is on the line? Okay, here we are. Perfect. Run the ball at the 20-yard line. Oh, there we go. We really got him there. Gain 8. We have 3rd and 2 with 7 minutes to play. Down 3 scores. You have Justin Jefferson on your team. Tremendous. I'm done, man. Like, this is... By the way, credit to Rams. Kick the rear ends. Jared Verse, defensive touchdown. And we got another run. 3rd and 2. Down 18 points. Love it. Keep it going, Kevin. Is there any realization? Is there any... I'm just asking. And I'm asking this as nice as I possibly can. Is there any realization that there is no tomorrow? There's no... We got to go back to the drawing boards, and we can beat these guys next week. Is there any realization of that? All right, great. We got a first down. Let's just let the clock run. 20-19. The play clock's just running down, and that is one of my biggest gripes. Is there's just no... For as good as Kevin O'Connell is at a lot of things, and he's great at a lot of things, there is just almost no... There's just no realization of the play clock. There's just, like, carelessness. Let's see here. Besides Bucks comms, why was wildcard weekend so bad? 2-7's not great, but the Vikings just shit the bed. Combine a bad interior offensive line with backup tackles and a quarterback who holds the ball for an hour every play. Appreciate the super chat, T. Charlie. Hopefully we drafted a guy. Look, it is J.J. McCarthy season. It is J.J. McCarthy season. Oh, they ruled the first down. Okay, ruling on the field, first down. But... Yeah, Brandon, appreciate the comment. But there's a couple of plays and scenarios that I do want to go over. By the way, the first drive was just a tone setter for the Rams. You know, that is the definition of a team that has been here. That you can tell has been here. And then you go out, you're the Minnesota Vikings, you know, 7 play off of the Rams, 7 play, 70-yard drive. We go 3 and out. It was a run for negative yards. It was a sack for minus 10 yards. And then a little quick ball to JJ on the right side for a gain of 10 just to get some of the yardage back. And that honestly was a good summarization of how the game would go. And I tweeted, I do want to go over some of the tweets that I have from this game tonight. Because I thought, I mean, I live react on Twitter. I'm not having these long these long thought out, drawn out tweets in the middle of the game. I'm going from the hip. It was not an exaggeration to say the first, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes of this game were the worst 8 minutes imaginable for a team to start off with. Justin, appreciate the member, by the way. What do the Vikings need to do this offseason? get rid of number 14, move on with JJ, and bring in Trey Smith. Trey Smith, you are a Minnesota Viking. Back the Brinks truck up. Trey Smith, come over from Kansas City, have an actual tone setter in the interior offensive line rather than getting bullied with Dalton Reisner, Garrett Bradbury, and Blake Brandel every game. Have a tone setter. Have somebody that wants to kick somebody's rear end on the other side. This is just abysmal, man. 4th and 1. Here we go. All right, let's see what we have. I'm guessing we get the first down, and then we just take our time. We take our grand old time. All right, we have a run. We have a quarterback sneak. We got the first down. Okay, let's keep the clock moving, or let's keep the play moving. You know, we're down 18. We get a quick field goal or quick touchdown. Just try and keep it going. Trey Smith to LAC. No, Trey. We whatever it takes. Bring Trey Smith to the Vikings. That is the number 1 priority. The Vikings just gave up. That is exactly how I feel, to be honest with you. And by the way, the one play where recently, this was in the second half. I'll get to the exact scenario in a minute. We have a first down, 6 minutes to play. Somebody just got bowled over. My goodness, somebody got bowled over. Verse bowled David Questenberry over. And that is a loss of 2. And Jared Verse is a player, man. Jared Verse is an absolute player. David Questenberry just got put on his rear end. Couple super chats here. Taylor, Darnold seeing ghosts again. He saw him all night, sacked 7 times. Pats Nation, come home. B-Flow. B-Flow can stay. B-Flow is not the problem tonight. He settled in. He was fine. But Zulix, appreciate the super chat. My dad says KOC never changes his game plan no matter the score. He never goes to quick slants at all. What's your thoughts? Never seen this team so dead. Your dad? Your dad is 100% right. As much as I like... By the way, here we go. We're down to 2 seconds on the play clock with 5.5 to play. That's lovely. We're down 3 scores. Sam Darnold running for his life. Throws to Johnny Munt. Munt gets the first down. Munt. There's a gain of 18 or 20 yards. We're still alive. And... that is actually the unofficial thing I do whenever Johnny Munt gets the football. He rarely gets the football, so you gotta do the munt part. But anyway, you're down 18 points. Why are we not going no huddle? Why are we okay? We have 22 seconds on the play clock when we're up to the line. Let's see when we snap it. We snap the ball with 19. That's more acceptable than letting it go down all the way to 2. Sam Darnold screen pass to Aaron Jones, and we get a gain of about 4, and there's a flag on the play. All right. Slow slants. Back to the slant super chat, by the way. Your dad's 100% right that said that, Zulux. Appreciate the super chat. It's just downright frustrating watching a team in your division. And by the way, credit the Lions because they know what they want to do. They know what their game plan is. They not that Kevin O'Connell doesn't know what his game plan is. He knows it too much. But the Lions make adjustments. You see how they play every single week. You saw what they did against the Vikings. They are capable of changing things up. And I'm just frustrated, man. Like the meme where it's like, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Sam Darnold, you are, and that's a Chinese or a Korean team. I like that. That is funny, Jacob. I do appreciate the super chat. Skull from Lions fan wanted to play y'all again. Sam saw the ghost. Here we go. 1st and 10, 4:53 to play. Sam, sacked an 8th time. Wonderful. And he got rocked. He's getting up, but he got absolutely rocked. That's 8th sack of the night. Sam Darnold is a Titan, says Sleepy Gorilla. I don't dispute that. I mean, Neville Gallimore, good sack, by the way. Liked him a lot in the pre-draft process a couple years ago. Sam Darnold could be a Titan. He could be a Giant. He could be... He's not a Viking next year, I'll tell you that much. He's not a Viking. Duel, appreciate the $1. Appreciate it. Isaac, appreciate the $5. Aaron Glenn found a way to break Sam Darnold. Now the Rams are copying it. Appreciate the first super live. You're not wrong. We have a 2nd and 18. Not a screen, but a little quick pass for about 4 minutes to play. This is just definition of, if we score at this point, it is the definition of, let's just get a score to make it look pretty. Let's just make it look a little better. So we have less than 4 minutes to play now. 3rd and 11, ball on the 46-yard line. I really think at this point we're just hoping for a 27-17 loss here. All right, 3rd and 11, Darnold is under pressure. Darnold, really light ball, really lofted it. Finds Addison over the middle. We're still alive, technically. 2 Zimmer era stinkers in 2 weeks. Nasty work. Unfortunately, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. 31-9 and 27-9. Right now, being outscored. I really do think we are going to get a garbage time touchdown. That would just be perfect with the way this game is played. But right now, we're being outscored 58-18 in the past 2 weeks. What do you think the Chargers offseason will look like? bring in receivers. Definitely bring in receivers. Address the interior offensive line, definitely. I mean, Justin Herbert obviously stunk, by the way, but you have to give him a chance. Well, and also he has to not stink in a playoff game, so those are up there. Can the Rams beat the Eagles? Very valid question, Brendan. Appreciate it. I think they can. I really think they can. Now, it's going to be tough. I don't want to sit here and act like it's not, but Quentin Lake tonight, by the way, phenomenal performance. Absolutely phenomenal performance by Quentin Lake. Shout out Quentin Lake. But the Rams can beat the Eagles. They are a really good team. They were my dark horse. I've been saying they're my dark horse for a couple weeks now. 4th and 11, game on the line. Can we make it pretty? Darnold going for the deep shot. And Jefferson, there's no chance. Incomplete. Double coverage. Ghosts, good night. JJ, visibly upset as he knows the season is over. And there's 3:35 to play. Sam Darnold, good luck. Good luck next year, buddy. Good luck next year. Let's see. There's a bunch of super chats here. Not a Vikings fan. I was frustrated with the quarterback. Yeah, I was too, Ray. I was very frustrated. There were 8 sacks in a game. Clearly not all of them were on the offensive line. I think the one where I just kind of laughed at the pain was in the second half whenever the game was on the line. It was 3rd and 8. Sam Darnold literally just stood there. It just stood there. 3rd and 8 and just takes a sack for minus 13 yards. And it was just as cliche as this one's going to sound on 3rd and 8. If you've ever seen the Madden thing where you click the throwaway, like, does that quarterback have that trait? I was sitting there thinking, like, why did you not throw the ball away? It was clearly, you had 3 seconds to throw the ball away. But anyway, credit to the Rams, by the way. The Rams played phenomenal. I feel like appreciate the super chat, Sleepy. I feel like the Titans are a kind of team to take Sam, and let's say they do. Who do the Vikings take first pick, or do they trade down for more capital? It's going to be dependent on how the board plays out for sure, and obviously free agency. But right now, the biggest priorities are to bring in Trey Smith in free agency. Aaron Jones is 30, so bring in another running back. I wouldn't mind drafting one. Maybe even in the first round, if Omarion Hampton is there, I wouldn't mind that, or Caleb Johnson from Iowa. But it's just brutal, man. This is just Trey Smith and DJ Reader welcome them to Minnesota. I like the sound of that. Darnold officially a pumpkin. I also agree with that. 2nd and 5, 3:30 to play. The Vikings took a timeout. Okay, so we're still showing some fight. The Rams run for about 2 yards. All right. Daniel, appreciate the chat. Eagles beat Rams next week. Easier game than Vikes. I disagree. I think Jalen Carter would have absolutely demolished the interior offensive line. Absolutely would have demolished them. So I personally disagree with that. Actually embarrassing that Kevin O'Connell gave up like that. I would agree. I just worry now, and this is very live and very raw reaction, so I do worry about this. But one of my biggest worries with this team moving forward is, are you just soft, like, inside? I mean, the interior offensive line play was horrendous. And the interior defensive line was fine. I mean, Harrison Phillips did fine at his role, but the linebackers were good. Gink and Grenard were also really good all year. But this offseason is going to be really telling because you have a chance to go out and get a Trey Smith. You have a chance to go out and bring in somebody, like you said, DJ Reader. I have a lot of questions. Let's see here. Hang in there. If Sam can bring 14 wins, imagine what JJ can do with Darrisaw back. Darrisaw, as much as I love Darrisaw. I think he's an all-pro caliber player. He just doesn't change anything with the way tonight went. Unfortunately. As much as I love Darrisaw. All right. I think that long-term this could be a benefit. I hope you're right. Don't have to pay Darnold or think about it and see clear weaknesses on the team. IOL, you're 100% right. Gorilla, appreciate the chat. 10th super, appreciate it. 10 piece. Am I not high on Ashton Genty, or do you think there's better backs that fit Minnesota? And then divisional matchup predictions. I'm very high on Ashton Genty. Love Ashton Genty. I didn't include Ashton Genty in the running backs part because I don't think he's going to fall to Minnesota. There was no disrespect intended there. I just didn't think he was going to fall there. So sorry for the lack of clarity there. I just didn't think he was going to fall that far. So that was the reason why I didn't include him and why I talked about Omarion Hampton and Caleb Johnson. Now, divisional matchups. let's go in order. We have the official divisional round schedule. We have Chiefs Texans. I'm not going to bet against the Chiefs, guys. I'm not. Chiefs. I mean, we'll do the weekly preview later, and we'll get into a lot of those matchups, and we'll just continue to discuss the Vikings' just putrid effort here in a minute. Commanders, Lions, Rams and Eagles, Birds, Ravens, Bills. I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens, but it's just same as Kirk O'Chain's choking. Your Super Bowl window. Okay, this is one I strongly disagree with. Your Super Bowl window opened and closed so fast. We have a quarterback in a rookie contract, and Kevin O'Connell just led a team to 14 wins with Sam Darnold. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Vikings we're fine. Long run, we're up. We're way up. We're fine long run. All right, let's see here. Commanders are going to win. Hot take. I go for it. Jaden Daniels, NFC Championship game rookie year. That'd be electric. Have these last 2 games discouraged you about the Vikings' future? It hasn't discouraged me about the future because J.J. McCarthy's a different player. But I'm not buying in next year until the first playoff game. You go 15-2, great, cool. Defense looks great, awesome. I'm not buying in until I see this team collectively like, hey, we can perform with the big dogs when it matters. Because there was a lot of, I thought, not just from Sam Darnold, although Sam will be the scapegoat of this game, I thought there was a lot of collective just peeing down the pants by a lot of guys on the team tonight. And that includes the coaching staff. That includes a lot, unfortunately. That's not just one player or 2 players. But am I going to drop a video about the Vikings offseason, or is this the video? No, I would definitely drop a video at some point, for sure. There's a lot of teams to discuss. Right now, the Steelers, I'm in the middle of a Steelers video. That'll be out Wednesday. But there will be a Vikings video at some point. What are the odds of landing a guard like Trey Smith? I mean, hey, Trey, I'm being full Vikings fan right now, by the way. Like, I don't really wear the Vikings fan hat often, but TCO, the training facility, TCO Performance Facility is one of the best in the entire league. It's consistently ranked one of the best in the entire league. We just had a 14-win season. Obviously, you can see what this team can do. Trey Smith would significantly improve the roster. Trey Smith here's also, I don't know, $50, $60, $70 million. While we have a quarterback in a rookie contract, you know how to win. You're a multiple-time Super Bowl champion. I'd say the chances are pretty solid. Not to say it's like 80% going to happen, but it's a decent chance that Trey would be interested in going to Minnesota. At least I hope. Vikings' biggest need for this offseason, they gotta get bigger. They gotta get stronger in the interior. And honestly, I don't know how you would even go about this, but I just think at times, tonight, perfect example, where people and teams, fans of teams, look at their bad coaching situations. And not to say they're not bad, not to make light of bad coaching situations, but they think that you get a Kevin O'Connell, you get a Sean McVay, you get a Kyle Shanahan. I'm probably forgetting a coach, an Andy Reid, whoever. Probably forgot another couple coaches, whoever. That you automatically just, everything is perfect. It's a green pasture, everything is fine. And while it is good at times, I'm not going to deny that, of course, there's just times where I think that Kevin O'Connell gets way too cute with things, and at times where I'm borderline screaming at the TV, what are you doing? And I think tonight was just a perfect example. I think tonight was just a perfect example of what are we doing? And I'm actually going to go ahead and tweet that, by the way. Tonight was just a perfect example. Tonight was just a perfect example of screaming at the TV. What are we doing? And that's just the best way that I can describe this game, man. Just the whole thing. And by the way, I do want to credit Brian Flores and the defense, because we could have just folded early and the defense played phenomenal. And there's going to be some Vikings fans that definitely want to talk about the incomplete pass that should have been a defensive touchdown. Obviously, that was a big play. But, hold on, we got 1st and 10 with less than 2 minutes to play. Darnold going for the deep shot. Looked like his arm was hit. Oh, Addison dropped it. Good breakup. Good pass breakup. But that didn't change anything. That doesn't change an 18-point loss. The opportunity was there time and time again. You want to change something, change 8 sacks. You want to change something, don't hold on to the ball for 9 seconds. You want to change something, don't give up a defensive strip sack touchdown to a player that you drafted Dallas Turner over, by the way. And I think Dallas Turner's going to be fine in the long run. But I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. Vikings, sorry franchise, to be honest. Tonight's not a good night to have that discussion. KOC clock management needs work. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Gorilla, appreciate it. Worst scenario, let's say Lamar loses. What happens to his legacy, and what should the Ravens do? It's going to be just the same thing. It's going to be what we've heard. Lamar chokes in the postseason. It's going to be the same thing, but he's only 28 years old, and I would say the same thing to Josh Allen, even if they lose. Lamar just... I like Lamar. He played better against the Steelers. I hope he plays great against the Bills. The Rams to beat Philly is going to be very difficult. It's going to be too... Oh, here we go. Another sack! 9th of the night, baby! 9th of the night. Just let the clock run out. Just take a knee, punt the ball back, and have them taken. Just 9th sack of the night. Shout out Desjuan Johnson, by the way. Mr. Irrelevant in 2023. From Toledo, by the way. The Rams' keys to beat Philly contain Saquon. That's the big thing, because he ran for 250 yards against them last time. I'm literally crying right now. I hope you're all right. I'm verbally crying. I guess that's what I do during losses, is verbally cry. I don't, not actual tears, just, get it all out, talk it out, which is what we're doing now. Appreciate everyone being in here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying. Trade for Tua. Definitely do not trade for Tua, especially with this interior offensive line. Definitely do not trade for Tua. Welcome to the one and done letdown club. A Broncos and Steelers fan. Signed a Broncos and Steelers fan. Yeah, haven't won a playoff game in 5 years. Kevin O'Connell now falls to 0-2. 4th and 11. 50 seconds left. I'm glad we're going for it. Here we go. Sam Darnold going for it. The first down. It's probably incomplete, and it is incomplete. Game on the line. We're going to Trent Sherfield. Although I do have to say, I don't know if Justin Jefferson was even in the game at this point, because the game's obviously out of reach. But credit to the Rams. They kicked our ass tonight. All right. Someone get this man a beer. Water. That's. I don't drink, respectfully. No judgment. I just don't. But Speedy93, appreciate the super chat. They barely ran to start the game, but called a bunch of runs late in the game when they needed to score quick. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's another frustration that I have with Kevin O'Connell is hey, we're down 18 points midway through the third quarter. You know what we're going to start trying to do? We're going to start to try to establish the run. What are we doing, man? I mean, genuinely, what are we doing? Mark, appreciate the super chat. Rams fan, proud of the boys site. You should be. GG's, thanks for all the support this season. You always believed LA strong. Yeah, First off, LA, I'm obviously hope the best for the LA community. Thank you to every first responder and everything in the Los Angeles metropolitan area this week. Hoping the best for everything. But great game, Mark. You guys kicked our rear ends entirely, thoroughly. 9 sacks tonight, by the way. Let's see here. We got a couple chats here. A lot of questions this offseason for these players and staff. They just want to be good, or do they want to be great / dominant? Very fair. Very fair. And I'll say this, as Harrison Smith and Matt Stafford are embracing after the game. Hugging, by the way. Tonight might be Harrison Smith's final career game. And that's saddened me. That actually really saddens me. I'm going to be honest. No, there's a lot of questions this offseason for the Vikings, and they're showing Harrison Smith. Let's see here. In your opinion, what should the Jets... Okay, we're Jets now. Who should the Jets hire? Sorry about the Vikings. Can't imagine going 14-3 to go out this sorry. Very fair. Very fair. Jets head coach... I'm going to get back to that in a promise. In a minute, I promise I'll get back to that. Let me think about this here. You said Texans were going to be one and done. Receipt. Okay, appreciate the super chat, Lewis. And they kicked the Chargers' rear ends. Justin Herbert, 4 interceptions. Credit to him. D'Amico had the boys ready to play. Credit to him. They played awesome. 20-point win. Major props to the Texans. I don't know how to answer this for the Jets, by the way. Honestly, for pure chaos, I want Rex Ryan. Rex is really passionate about the job. I would love that. But I think I feel like it has to be an offensive-minded coach. They just got rid of Bob Saleh, I think they're going to go with an offensive-minded coach. DC, I actually hope that it would be somebody like Rex, but Vikings' weakness is teams with blue jerseys. 4 losses in 2024. 2 to the Lions, 2 to the Rams. And they kicked their rear ends when it mattered. Both of them did. Week 18 and the wild card round. Harrison Smith Hall of Fame bound. I would agree with that. Maybe if Justin Jefferson had more... Okay, let's keep going here. Let's see. Hell of a season for Darnold. Hell of a first 16 games. Let's see here. Darius Slayton has more playoff wins than Justin Jefferson. It's tough. That was... You know, honestly, you guys know I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. I was hoping that I could tweet out after tonight. Big day for me as a fan. Justin Herbert, Justin Jefferson each get their first career playoff win. Went 0-2. And not just 0-2 by a field goal. 0-2 by nearly 40 combined points. Is KOC in the hot seat? No. I'm tired of all this character building. I'm with you. The Jets head coach, by the way, I don't know where I would stand on that. The Jets head coach, Liam Cohen, would make a lot of sense. That would be a hire that I would like. I'm really high on the Liam Cohen. Todd Monken would also be a really good hire. That's probably where I would stand. And then if Todd Monken could bring in, I'd have to think of somebody for a DC, but like a positions coach for the Ravens, I think that would make a lot of sense there. Appreciate the super chats, Ray, and then Monster Jam. You make NFL content easy to follow for new NFL fans. I appreciate that. I'm sad right now. I'm very sad right now. Just tough, man. Hoping Grenard is having a good time. Let's see here. What's next for KOC? He's going to come back. KOC will be fine. KOC brought he'll be fine in the long run. I'm not really buying back in until next postseason. This is just 2022 all over again. Am I good? BR Gridiron tweet? What is BR Gridiron tweet? Somebody said they're doing... What happened? What is up with BR Gridiron tweet? What is the... Is there a BR Gridiron tweet? My condolences. Appreciate it. What is this BR Gridiron tweet? Let's see here. Was I tagged in something? Or was there... No, they're just... Okay, so they're just tweeting it. Okay. What a season it was for Sam... Oh, my God. What a season it was for Sam Darnold. Led the Vikings to 14-3 record and a playoff berth. 4,300 yards. 35 touchdowns. Top 5 in NFL in passing yards. First quarterback to ever win 14 games. Made himself a lot of money. Here's a bribe for you to join the Ravens bandwagon. I appreciate it. I'm not going to join the Ravens bandwagon. I'm still a Vikings fan through and through. Make no mistake about it. This is just a tough loss. Vikings fan for 32 plus years. They'll break your heart. They broke my heart tonight big time. Sam Darnold jersey when? No. No. Definitely not. No Sam Darnold. JJ jersey. JJ jersey would be more... A JJ jersey would be more appropriate than a Sam Darnold one. But Sam Darnold to Pittsburgh, Tennessee, that would make a lot of sense. Let's see here. Arrow, appreciate the super chat, appreciate the 10. Started watching around the summer team previews and I've been doing my best to keep up. Appreciate it. Sorry to see our boys go out like this. Thanks for providing amazing content all year. Appreciate that more than you know. We all feel the same way right now. But I think, like I said, what I think just frustrates me the most right this particular second post-loss is to see the defense doing everything that... I guess I can mute the TV now. I don't know if you guys could even hear it. But to see the defense just absolutely playing their tails off, doing everything they can to keep this team in the game. Because if you think about it, right, I'm going to pull up specific stats here, at least team stats. Now, I know the Rams are going to be a little skewed because they didn't have the ball that much because we had a lot, during garbage time and all that. So it's a little skewed. But the defense allowed only 300 yards of offense tonight. Actually, technically not even. They allowed 292 yards of offense. And again, like I said, that a little bit of that is skewed because of everything that, transpired in the second half. But for the defense to keep the offense in the game as much as they did, And then for the offense to just look like they weren't particularly interested at times, that's what I'm most upset about, more than anything. The defense had what they thought was a touchdown. It gets called an incomplete pass. What are you going to do? Okay? Special teams, Camus, Greiser, Hill, almost. That ball is literally like between his hands and his face mask. That's just unbelievable how that sequence happened. But the offense at times, especially in the second half, I thought just genuinely just looked checked out, aside from the one drive in which TJ Hawkinson caught a touchdown. And even within that drive, by the way, this is just fitting for how the night was. Sam Darnold throws a pass that was at least 2 feet behind Jalen Naylor. He made a good catch. And then the next play, the touchdown play, I think it was at least the next play, TJ caught a ball that was, again, at least a foot and a half behind him and ran it in for a touchdown. But couple super chats here, by the way. Let's see here. Who do you have winning? Bills, Ravens? I'm going to go Ravens for now, but we'll talk more on Friday. Try this again. What do you think the Bucs should do with Todd? Fire him or move or go to DC? Okay, so they wouldn't move him to DC just because it just doesn't work like that. I think Liam Cohen's in the building. I think he's a better option. That is what I would do personally, is Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen is a really good head coaching option. If Baker Mayfield, 41 touchdowns, that's where I'd go. Did I say I'm 32 years old? I did not. No. A Vikings fan that commented was a fan of 32 plus years. All right. Keep your head up from a Rams fan. Lots of talent in Minnesota. Appreciate it. Great coaching, good development. Vikings aren't going anywhere. Appreciate the chat, Ivan. But it's just going to be tough. I'm not buying in until next postseason. I'm not buying in. Unless they get the 1 seed, unless they home playoff game with US Bank Stadium, I'm not fully buying in. And by the way, I do want to address one thing, just because I know this has been brought up recently. There's talks, at least on Twitter, about the NFL potentially removing like the seedings because the Vikings, in theory, should have been the 2 seed this year. Win your division. Win your division. You know, I have an idea. Beat the teams in front of you. And that's where I stand on that, is beat the teams in front of you, and when it comes hell or high water, don't get beat by 3 scores 2 weeks in a row as a 14-win team. That is what I would have to say to the proposed ideas about that. All right, let's see here. Vikings did lose to Giants at home. That was a couple years ago, but I mean, you are correct, yes. But that's just tough, man. I think we're getting KC Buffalo again. I think it's going to be KC Baltimore again, to be honest. But Darnold costed himself a lot of money over the past 2 weeks. You're not wrong. Darnold, I would say, cost himself, plural, millions over the past 8 days. So it's a tough one here. We have no spine. Simple as that. That's honestly how I feel a lot about tonight, man. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think it's a wrong take. The Vikings had 106 rushing yards tonight. That's very hard to believe. Cam Akers did have that one big 26-yard run. It's kind of an outlier based on how that was. But Justin Jefferson, 58 yards. Now he's 0-2 in the playoffs. Jordan Addison tonight had 3 catches, 29 yards. He had a really hard fall on that one play. I'm glad he was fine. But thanks for the fun, Sam. That's about how I feel, man. Thanks for the fun. Thanks for the 14 games. Thanks for by pretty much every definitional insanity run, but it's JJ McCarthy time. Scarred Bert says the other day I told you to relax after the Lions. Turns out to not relax. It's just, you've been a fan of a team for so long, you know how it's going to play out. And I said we got down 10-0, and then the missed opportunities to not, in incomplete pass because Stafford flicks his wrist that way. What are you going to do? Really, what are you going to do? Who are you going to argue with? And then you miss the blocked punt by, an inch and a half? What are you going to do, man? Guys, you want more heartbreak if we won and then got slammed by the Eagles? You're not. That's the thing. Even if we win this game, Jalen Carter might actually break the record for pressures in a playoff game. I don't know what it is, but he'd probably have 2.5 sacks, a forced fumble. Sam would probably be looking at him like, I wish I had a football right here, but he'd be looking at him like, what do I do? And the play calling with KOC, the constant, long, developing play calling when your IOL is awful, is something that has to be worked on. And I don't know what you say. Like, does Justin Jefferson go to him and say, hey, coach, you got to be better? That's not a realistic conversation. So it's a lot. What divisional round game are you excited for? Definitely most excited is Bills-Ravens for sure. For sure. Like, not even close. But I'm definitely more excited for Rams-Eagles. I'm more excited for Saturday than Sunday, just because I think both 1 seeds are going to take care of business. Not easily, but I think they're going to win without a lot of sweating. I mean, it might be a 1-score game, but I don't think they're going to be stressing that much. This game was a disappointment. You're not wrong. You should get Chase Young and buff the O-line up and then run it back. I would not be opposed to bringing in Chase Young, although it's not going to happen, unfortunately. But it is J.J. McCarthy time. Chase Young, by the way, had a pretty underrated year, for what it's worth. Let's see here. Who would you re-sign that's going to be a free agent? Hold on. Who would you re-sign that's going to be a free agent? Byron Murphy's one. The good news, though, positive spin zone here. Positive spin zone is Darnold is gone. Like, you're not paying $45 million. You're not running it back. You're not maybe running back a 2-year, $90 million deal, hoping it happens again. He's gone. And I know a lot of Vikings fans have been frustrated with general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, but I will say positively that Kwesi does a really, really good job of knowing when it's the right time to cut a player loose in free agency because they're older, because they're not productive at the level that they need to be whenever you pay these guys, $20, $25 million a year, or in a quarterback's case, $45 million a year. So, who would I re-sign? Byron Murphy, Pro Bowl year, 6 interceptions. Byron Murphy is who I would re-sign. Very disheartening to see you buy in and collapse. I'll be honest, man. I bought in more with this team. This was the most I've bought in with the Vikings team by far since 2017. By far. So once in 7 years, you really buy in, and you lose by 18 in the first round. But it happens. It is what it is. At least the Minneapolis Miracle happened that year. That was fun. But, hey, look, getting beat 27-9 in the wild card round, I would argue is better than getting beat 38-7 in the NFC Championship game. That's definitely a lot better. It's just tough. Wavy, I came in here last night, tried to warn you that Darnold wasn't a real quarterback. Sorry, go Ravens. My boy Wavy is definitely. I love the go Ravens at the end. From Baltimore. Love it. But you weren't wrong. But like I said, as a Vikings fan, and I'm saying right now I'm not going to buy in. I mean, you can hear within, we've been live for like 30 minutes, whatever. I'll buy in by week 1 of next year, for sure. Not Super Bowl, but I'll buy in. But what I would say was entering this game that I will stand by is the Rams corners are not as good as the Vikings receivers and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. They're not. They're not as good. They're not at that level of that position as especially Jefferson. So it was like, all right, just get Sam in a rhythm early. And that goes back to the play calling, by the way, by Kevin O'Connell, where people act like it's you can't criticize a good head coach at all, where it's like, KO, we got to do better. Call quick passes. And there was one play, by the way, I think it was Quentin Lake. It was like a 2nd and 8 screen midway through the game, I think early second quarter. They called a quick bubble screen, and I think it was Jefferson who caught it. He dipped around the block from Jalen Naylor and made a tremendous play. It was 3rd and 8. So that was a good design there. But there's just too often where it's just like, what are we doing? Where it's 3rd and 8. Sam is waiting for a hole to open that's never going to open. He's waiting for, it to be as wide as an interstate highway. And he's just sitting there waiting to get sacked. I mean, you get sacked 9 times in the game. Something's wrong. Appreciate the super chat. Oh, wow. Appreciate the super chat. What changes are you expecting from the Vikings? The one change that, there's no negotiation. This will determine whether, how much I buy in. Because you give me 9 months to talk myself into something, especially with Kevin O'Connell, especially with Justin Jefferson. Hopefully Flores stays. Trust me, I'm going to do a lot of mental gymnastics there to fully buy in with my football team. Now, I'm going to be realistic. I'm not going to say, Super Bowl or bust. Mahomes is going to get sunned in the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. But how much I determine to buy in is going to be based on the interior part of the offensive line. You want to run the ball, Kevin? I have no problem with that. I have a problem running the ball down 18 points in the wild card round when, again, I say there is no tomorrow. That's where I have a problem. That is where I have a problem is, let's just continue to try to establish the run down 18 points. I actually want to go back to one of our drives in the third quarter. Not the first drive. It was here it is. Vikings get the ball back with, where was it here? Hold on. This is the third quarter. I am looking at something. I'm looking at something wrong here. Something is not, give me 1 sec just to pull this exact scenario up the way that it played out, because it was just ridiculous. Here it is. All right. The Vikings get the ball with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. 4.5 minutes. Run, first down. Sam Darnold, sack, second down. I actually think I'm looking at the wrong play here. I think I'm looking at the wrong drive. No, that was the second quarter. Disregard. Okay, here we go. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. 11 play, 46-yard drive, 5 minutes punt. And you're down 18 points. First play, run. Second play, short pass to Jordan Addison to the left. Third play, run. Fourth play, run. Fifth play, run. It was a technically pass, and Sam Darnold scrambled. But after that, incomplete deep pass, another run, pass to T.J. Hawkinson, another run. I mean, you're down 18 points. What was that, 6 runs? Down 18 points with no tomorrow? Get real, man. I mean, get real. Appreciate the super chat, El Guapo. As a Lions fan, I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy you guys lose. Dude, enjoy it. Enjoy it. I mean, yes, enjoy it. I mean, are we going to act like that as a Lions fan and myself as a Vikings fan and Bears fans didn't enjoy the Eagles winning yesterday? Just saying, live as it happened. But you guys had a good season, and you're not super far off. Your window's open. It's definitely open. It's just the interior offensive line has to be addressed. At fire KOC, I'm not firing KOC. There's just minor adjustments that need to be made. Vikings will have to ignore the trolls. Vikings will have to rebuild. I don't think they have to rebuild. I think they're a couple of pieces away, a couple of decisions away. Bring in Trey Smith. Get beefier. Taco Bell, we have, or what is it? It is Taco Bell, right? No, Wendy's, sorry. Wendy's, we have the beef. Get the beef. Get strong up front. If you want to play grown man football and contend with the Lions and be able to contend with the Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomerys and the Sonic and Knuckles with the season on the line, and although David Montgomery didn't play in Week 18, if you want to compete with those guys, you have to draft big. Draft a Dayon Walker from Kentucky. Draft a Tyleek Williams from Ohio State. Draft the big guys. Is it fair to call the Rams contenders 100%? Yeah, it's more than fair. No, they're my dark horse. They're a really good team. They can beat anybody. GME joining late, sending my condolences. Appreciate it. And Joseph, NFC North is actually weak. I don't know. Joseph, I don't know what that's... I don't know what that's about. But Arby's. Sorry. Arby's has the beef. I'm sorry. Arby's has the meats. You're right. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's been that type of... All right, hello. Where does Darnold go? Out of Minnesota. No, in all seriousness. I think not Tennessee, sorry, because they have number 1 pick. No, I was in my head, I had him to go into Tennessee for a little bit, but Pittsburgh makes sense at this point. Pittsburgh definitely makes sense. Pittsburgh is the one. Why am I not thinking of any other? Vegas is another one. Pittsburgh or Vegas makes a lot of sense. Just dropped in to say happy you lost. I mean, if you're not a Vikings fan, I get it. Where's the beef is Wendy's. Okay. All right. Let's see here. 2.2K in the chat. Hell yeah. Appreciate everyone being in here. Any worries about the Eagles after yesterday's game? Appreciate the super chat, AJ. I'm thinking Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. Love the content. You may have other people that say they're worried about the Eagles. I'm not. I think they're fine. Jalen Hurts hadn't played in a couple weeks. You're playing a great defense. The Packers defense is really good. I'm not worried at all. But that is that somebody else might be worried. I'm not. I think they're good. Jalen Super Bowl MVP. I'd be surprised, mainly because I think that I don't know. I feel like Saquon would have a huge Super Bowl, and it would be. That's a couple of week away discussion, but they're fine. Long story short, they're fine. Browns with Sam Darnold, no, because of the financial implications. All right, let's see here. We need a football analysis Madden rebuild. No, I'd rather just yap. Although it wouldn't. I mean, I could rebuild the Vikings in a season and a half because I would just be trading picks and it wouldn't be realistic. It would just be a very Madden rebuild, but. Let's see here. Am I still worried about the Texans next season after their win over the Chargers? Kind of off topic, asks Nick. That's a long ways away, although I have more confidence in them moving forward. I'll say that. I will say that. Credit the Texans, by the way. What about a Texans-Rams Super Bowl? Go for it. That would be awesome. CJ versus Matt Stafford. D'Amico versus McVay. Do it. Was that the game completely devastated? My condolences. How would I fix the O-line? Bring in Trey Smith. That is the number one priority. Let's see here. Now, by the way, I am genuinely sorry that everything that is going on in LA, and I'm grateful for the first responders in LA, but I was going to go to this game tonight, and then it was played in Arizona, so I ended up just canceling the plane and got the flight credit and all that. But I was going to go to this game tonight, and I'm grateful I didn't. Grateful I did not after this stinker. Rams Lions NFC Championship game would feed families. It'd be a very interesting game. How does Kupp do versus the Eagles? It'll be Cooper Kupp versus Cooper DeJean. That's a matchup there. I think he'll be fine. Cooper wasn't featured tonight that much. He had that one big play, but and Puka didn't have that big game either. And I think that's actually the only catch Cooper Kupp had. But that's also frustrating because this was actually, people were like this. This was like a Kirk Cousins game without Kirk Cousins. This was just a complete pantsing in front of everybody without Kirk Cousins. Kirk just wasn't there. It was like the one meme where it's like you just reveal and it's still Kirk Cousins. That it was this type of game, right? The lights were way too bright. Free Justin Jefferson, no. He just finished second in the NFL in receiving yards. He's fine. Speaking of Kirk Cousins, take him back. We have J.J. McCarthy. We're good. Somebody said Vikings picking 24. Appreciate that. That is good to know. That is really good to know. Wish I could buy you a shot. Save your money. I do not drink. Let's see here. The ghost of Kirk Cousins still haunts you. That's not wrong. But guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. I am grateful you guys are here. But just a tough loss. 27-9. After you could beat 31-9. Play calling was bad. Sacked 9 times. That was bad. Interior offensive line, a train wreck. But at least it's J.J. McCarthy season. So that will wrap it up. I'm good, by the way, in all the grand scheme of things. If you guys are interested then in seeing my thoughts on just how things play out, I recommend following on Twitter. Definitely follow on Twitter. Football analysis. But I'll catch you guys next time. Appreciate everyone being in here. And hopefully my pain brought you guys a little joy because it was a tough one. Appreciate the super chat. MS, Ravens fan here. Sorry for your one and done. Hey, it's all right. I'm from Maryland. The thing is, I like Josh and Lamar both, but it'll be a good game next week. But like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And new video Wednesday. Appreciate everyone being in here. And as always, please be safe. Until next time, until Wednesday, 12 o'clock, noon, high noon, set your alarms. Pittsburgh Steelers video. Until then, please be safe and have a great day. Love you guys.